WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside ESPN's John Anderson, here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
Last 60 minutes of your day. Yeah. I don't listen very well. That's what Aaron Rodgers said. I said, well, when you say good stuff, I listen more. Well, when it's the John Anderson Homer Hour, I listen a ton.
Do you?
I need a governor. I think that's legit. Not all the time, some of the time. This is the John Anderson Homer Hour. Jason Wilde is going to be on it at 15 after, and you need to talk to him. Because this is the only thing in life in which I so differ from Jason that it's hard to explain. He said he's wanted the Bears to get better and Caleb Williams to be better so that the Bears-Packers rivalry or whatever becomes better. I said, who the hell wants that? That makes the Packers' life tougher and makes it more difficult to win a Super Bowl. I want the Bears and all teams in the division to stink as much as possible in whatever way would guarantee the Packers win the division and make it easier. Like he says there are better stories. I disagree, and I will defer to you. The greatest stories about the Packers are when they kicked butt. Nobody talks about, yeah, but we had a great game between the Bears and the Packers. No one brings that up. It's about winning, and Bears sucking makes it easier for the Packers to win. I don't know what to say to Jason. It's like, to me, if somebody said 2 and 2 is 5, how do you explain it's not 5? So whenever I need help like that, I go to the man with some salt and some sugar, and I don't know which direction he's going to go. John Anderson, good evening.
Good evening. I think what perspective are you using? If you are strictly a Packer fan, right? Then yes, I would ascribe to your theory. If I am in the job I'm in most days, or still feel like I'm in, as a media member, I want the drama. I want teams to be better. I want the story to be better, and the Bears being better feeds that. And I will say this, for 100 years.
Hold on, but you were part of a national. You want the games to be good. If I'm covering the Packers, I want them to be better, better, better. That gets the most interest. And so the Bears being bad makes my job easier. This is where I disagree with Jason.
But
His job is better and easier and more fun with winning. What?
So I'll tell you this. So for the most of my association with this University of Missouri, both Missouri and Kansas have stunk out loud. And the only reason that the game meant anything is one team was going to have 4 wins and the other was going to have 3 wins. And that fourth win was going to be gigantic because you beat them. The year that they played in Kansas City and Missouri came in 3 and I think Kansas was 2, was the greatest game I've ever watched. It was the best. It was the most interest. And I was so glad that both teams were good because it brought it to a whole new level, and I enjoyed the game a whole bunch more. And I saw their coach at the time, Mark Mangino, at a Walter Camp thing I was hosting years later in the year, and I told him, I said, man, I want you guys to stink out loud. It was great that both teams were good. Now I know why Auburn, Alabama, I know why Michigan, Ohio State are such great rivalries, because there was something at stake. And so I kind of get, as a fan, it's nice. Let's walk over them. I don't know. I like both teams being good. I like their things to be at stake other than just I don't like you. And so, no, I tend to think the other way, that I don't want to just roll over everybody. It's nice to win them all. But I think when those teams are good, the games are more memorable. And have more meaning and they hold more interest to me. So I kind of think I will go to the other side on it.
Do you like games more memorable or seasons more memorable?
I mean, ultimately, in the end, the season, sure, but that the two regular season games beat some. How about when you played on the playground? If you played tennis with some guy and you beat him 6-0, 6-0, did you want to go? Give me somebody better. How many times you played in the backyard as a kid and you picked up teams and you're like, we drafted the best team and you housed that team on the 15 minutes of recess, 59-7. And you're like, well, that's no fun. And so what do kids do? They choose up teams till the games get equal because then it's more fun and it's better than one side blowing out the other. And I know that every kid I ever played with in the summer,
I feel
recess,
more comfortable with my position.
When one team was winning by a million, you swapped them up. All right,
we'll
just want
to let you know, I feel more comfortable with my position than ever before, given that was the best analogy that you could come up with.
I've got a lot of them. We got recess. We've got the Mizzou Kansas game. We've got your tennis
You're
game.
comparing that.
Did you want to play the? Did you want to play the same guy, 6-0 guy? So you were happy just playing every 6-0 guy that you could.
Hold on.
That was fine. You didn't want anybody competition.
Beating them was part of going to the next level. All right? I'd want to play the easiest people. If it was, this is what we're talking about. Game matches you'd have to play to get to the Nationals. I would have wanted the easiest people I could have played because I wanted to get to the Nationals. Now, if the Bears and the Packers have no interest in doing anything of significance and just want to win the rivalry, la-di-frickin-da, I'm finding a new team because it ain't about the rivalry. While that is nice and you made a great explanation for it, I don't know how much, you're going to hate to hear this, that's the difference between Kansas and Missouri. You don't know what the difference is? They got championships, so that's their standard. Missouri's standard is a rivalry because they got nothing better.
Not in football. Kansas has 0 championships in football.
Again, you know that football's biggest, but basketball, men's basketball.
But that's not the example. The example I was making, by the way, the games are better when Missouri's 1 and Kansas is 2 or vice versa. I would much rather go to those. Do I want to beat them by 30? Yeah. But do I like the game better if they're both good? Yes. So I like that you keep putting on layers when it doesn't get your answers. So then you put on another layer. Oh, wait, is it games or is it seasons? Then after seasons will be championships because you've got to make the playoffs.
But that's what it is.
You keep adding
that's
caveats.
What it is. It's excellence. Not in the rivalry, but in the season. When you have no excellence in the season, then the rivalry becomes more important. It hasn't been that big to the Packers lately.
I think it's more enjoyable. I don't. You think people have enjoyed it more or less? So you say there's the Packers beating the Bears doesn't hold. Long as they beat them, you don't care what the quality of the opposition is.
No, everything is important only as it relates to the Packers. So the easier the competition can be.
You don't think Packer fans enjoyed beating Mike Ditka more than they did beating Matt Eberflus?
No. You mean as coach with the Packers?
Full of crap. You're full of crap.
No, wait. I'm talking about Ditka as a player.
No,
do I think they liked
the Packers had more fun?
They did. Fine, they did, and they got their butts kicked all the time.
The question was, do I enjoy it better when they are better and like it better when the Bears are better in this game or not? I do. That is the answer to the question. Then you go, but what about the season? What about championship? You asked if I like the game better if they're better, if the Bears are a good team. I do. Yes.
Well, no, but this was just not Jason, because I'm probably doing this again. Jason was about the season. It makes for better because they're good. Yeah,
so it does.
Then
cool,
you don't
I get it.
care. You don't care that it makes it harder on the Packers.
No, there's more value in having to work at it a little bit.
There's no more value than winning, sir. None. Zero.
There's way more satisfaction, way more accomplishment than winning against that than beating. I get it. You'd like to. If you could win the division at 17-0 and the other teams are 0-6-17 the rest of the way, good for you.
That'd be great.
I can't really happen because they got to play each other, but
correct.
That's your opinion. I disagree with your opinion.
Wow, you're with Jason.
I disagree on your opinion.
No.
which is okay. I think we're allowed to do that, are we not?
We definitely are. I'm just kind of saddened. I didn't see that coming.
Well,
all right, let's
I
get
hope
to
you
that.
have
Now
blowouts
that
all
this
the way
is-
to the Super Bowl.
What?
I said I hope you have blowouts all the way to the Super Bowl and in.
Yeah. 1962,
Well,
greatest season ever from the Packers.
Which one?
Yeah, but they just crushed everybody. That was no fun.
Championship seasons. Do you think the 49ers are they talk way more about the game that they beat? Joe Montana drove them down the field to beat the Bengals than they do about Steve Young beating the Chargers 56-2 or whatever it was. Which one of those holds more regard to those? Because they both get a ring and they both are on there. And I guarantee you, people rarely talk, other than Steve Young breaking through. They talk way more about the games against the Bengals than they do the blowouts over the Broncos or the blowouts over the
Yes,
Chargers.
but when I'm now comparing rings, that I'd like to have that issue. Of the Packers Super Bowls that I have went, the Super Bowls that I enjoyed,
go to the moon
certainly
because
Brett Favre's.
We're not going to the moon because it's easy. We go to the moon precisely because it's hard, said Jack Kennedy in Houston. Okay?
Wow.
That's why we choose to do this, because it's hard.
Yeah, but isn't it all that mattered that we beat the Russians? Really that just what it was? Isn't that the only reason we did it? Am I wrong there? I thought it was just we
were in competition with them.
And the more we crushed the Russians, the better. The easier it would
they
have
were
been.
really good at it. Right? We remember beating the Russians.
They
We
were
remember that the Chinese were trying to.
All right, hold on. I got to admit, John and I've lost total control of this, and I'm okay with this. But I think we're what I call that Don Hudson era. So yes, it's better now. It's I've lost. I can move on.
Okay.
I am kind of not as excited about this game because I think it's just part of 4 or 5 games. They play the Bears, but they play them again in 2 weeks. So I think the success is going to be the result of how many you win over the final 5, and it could include this one or not include this one. And I'm really curious to see how they do. The Bears have a simple way to win the game. And it makes for a short pregame, as I heard you talk about. Just run the damn ball, just like they did against Pittsburgh. Or not Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. And they're not going to run it that well. But that changes everything. Just run the damn ball. Limits the Packers. And all this other stuff won't matter. But somehow I believe the Packers seems like, and this is scary because it's always been wrong this year, even this is what I'm going to ask you. Don't you feel like they got a little something juice going? I'm not saying a lot, but are you feeling any better than you have all season? It's scary because every time this has happened, then they take a nosedive. But how are you feeling about this year's Green Bay Packers?
I'm with you. I think they have some momentum. Most of the time I'm on with you, they are either in the Super Bowl or they're headed to the top 3 picks in the draft. That's you're kind of on, you've got the 1 and the 10, and your spectrum is the 2 through 9 kind of disappears. I think they played really. Boy, was that a Wisconsin thing? Yeah, no, they were. I think they have great momentum going right good. Now. I think they're feeling about as good as they have. And you're right. Now this will be kind of a test because every time they've come up against that, they've been pretty good. Then they go up an opponent that's been traditionally like, okay, they're not great, and they lay an egg. As it turns out, Browns still are bad. Carolina better than we thought, but still shouldn't have won in Lambeau. That's ridiculous. And I worry about the Bears, right? They got a gaudy record, but I don't know that it's been built on super wins at this point. The Eagles is nice.
The Bears are supposed to lose by anybody that looks at statistically. Nobody's ever had a record like they have with the point differential they have. You can't do it. At some point, like I would say, I don't know how many they'll win, but I expect them to get crushed in a game, in a regular season game before the season over. Lose by, I'll go with 30.
The Lions put 50-something on them, so they're still kind of suffering from that. But, teams get better and teams improve, and they certainly are. but I don't think they should, despite their record, they should come in and they're not favored, right? The Packers are what, 6.5, 7 points?
No, Packers are favored 5.5. It's gone up because it opened at 5.5 that I had. Now it could be. So yeah, people don't. The numbers, the statisticians, the professionals, they don't pick teams. They pick numbers, and that's what works for them. And this season, especially last week, the underdogs. The underdogs are kicking butt. They're not only kicking dogs; they're beating lions and tigers and bears. They're whooping them all. But I got to take it aside.
People love favorites in the over, and Vegas is all here for it.
Yeah,
they love favorites and they love the over.
Vegas went up a couple commas this past weekend.
They're just like, right.
Yes, and you tell them that every year, and the public still does it. This has been going on for how many years? Yes. Don't play favorites, play dogs, and go under. Okay, every week when the favorites win, the news comes that Vegas lost their most money ever. But I got to take it aside because I'm not part of the group today. Those who appreciate the greatness of the Bears being better for the rivalry. John Anderson with Jason Wilde next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Still a heavy ride on 43 southbound from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette interchange, down and over the high-rise bridge. You're seeing more delays from Beecher Street all the way down towards the KK River crossing. On the northbound side, slowing from Beecher all the way through the Marquette up to Locust. Westbound 94, solid out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound, we got backups from just before Highway F all the way past Barker Road, back on the brakes from the zoo all the way to Hawley, and then on the bypass heading southbound from the zoo down through the Hale all the way past Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, chance of flurries, mostly cloudy, a low of 18. Tomorrow, chance for snow showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 31. Weather is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, offering the perfect holiday gift. A memorable experience with the Bartolotta gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com, and happy holidays, Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
The problem is you can say all you want about being process-driven, but your process can be right, and if the execution sucks, you lose that game yesterday.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
That's great that you went for it on all three of those fourth downs, and you netted 2 touchdowns, but that's because your players did the job. They got it done. And in other games, they haven't.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Packers-Bears coming up Sunday at Lambeau Field, and the winner will be in first place of the NFC North through the first 14 weeks of the NFL season. The Bears currently at 9-3 are the number 1 seed in the NFC overall, and Packers safety Evan Williams says that adds a little bit of juice.
It's definitely going to be a big game. There's a little extra hype behind that in that sense. As a team, we all understand the type of game that it's going to be.
It should be a good one between these two division rivals. A 3:25 kickoff at Lambeau Field. The Packers 6.5-point favorites.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Need to find that perfect home? Don't sell. Upgrade with a home equity loan. Renovate that kitchen. Retile that bath. You choose the fixtures. Let us do the math. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
The holidays are busy. Meals to make, gifts to wrap, parties to host. When it's finally time to unwind, make it blissful with Carbless. Crisp, refreshing, and full of flavor with every sip. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. While it may be frozen outside, it's always flawless with Carbless. No guessing and no compromise. So whether you're celebrating with friends, hosting the crew, or relaxing by the fire, bring bliss to your holiday gatherings. Carbless, full of flavor, guilt-free enjoyment.
It's a sound you've heard in movies and music for generations. The unmistakable click of a Zippo lighter. Built to last, designed to be noticed. But Zippo is more than a lighter. It's a lifestyle. From sleek new finishes to hand warmers, candles, and accessories, Zippo brings that same legendary quality to everything they make. And now, you don't have to go far to find it. Discover Zippo lighters and more, available now at Sweet Fire Tobacco and Tundra Smoke Shops. Check us out in-store or online at Zippo.com.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at Bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
The best 60 minutes of your day when John Anderson and Jason Wilde talk about the greatness of the rivalry between the Packers and the Bears now that both teams are good. And because he's so nice, 7-2.5, John Anderson takes over. Take it away.
Happy Thanksgiving, Jason. No, it's belated. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy belated. Yeah, I know. Homer loves it when you wish people happy Thanksgiving. So I'm happy to to get that from you and return the favor.
He's already salty with me because I'm on your side that the games are better and it means more when the Bears are good. And I don't know why that's so hard to understand. Why wouldn't you want the best rivals to be playing, both being really good at the same time? I am flummoxed by his decision.
Well, he's not alone. I've taken some shrapnel, as Tausch likes to say, for that take. But the fact of the matter is that people like beating up on the Bears even better. And because I'm a little surprised that you're on my team. It's great to have you. But I think it's because you've done, journalism for so long and you teach it. But I think the vast majority of Packers fans would tell us that we're nuts, because what's really fun is to just keep beating the Bears and beating the Bears and beating the Bears and having bragging rights over your Bear fan friends all the time. I think that's preferable for a lot of fans. And when you look at Brett Favre, the Packers record with Brett Favre at quarterback against the Chicago Bears, 22-10. Packers record with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback against the Chicago Bears, 25-5. Packers record with Jordan Love as the quarterback against the Bears, 3-1. I'm not doing the math right now because I'm driving, but that's a lot of wins and not many losses. And so Packers fans have really enjoyed that, and they would, I'm sure, like to see it continue. I just find it more compelling and more interesting, even if the Packers continue to win, if the games and the teams are more competitive.
I think you're at 48-16 in those numbers, just off the top of my head. I'm not driving, but I was trying to add when that happens. I also make the claim. Don't you think people remember beating Mike Ditka more than they do Matt Eberflus? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe people have a long list of great victories over Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would say that. So I've covered, the first Bears-Packers game I covered was in '96. I covered them at home, I think, maybe not. I definitely covered them at Soldier Field when Freeman makes one of the greatest catches I have ever seen. This sort of diving over a defender while he's crossing the goal line catch from Favre. And I think back to all the Bears-Packers games I've covered, and the most memorable ones were when there was something on the line, right? 2010, not just in the NFC Championship game, but the Bears playing all their guys because in the finale, because they wanted to keep the Packers out of the playoffs, and they failed to do so, right? 2013, Rodgers returns from the broken collarbone and throws the 48-yard fourth down touchdown to Randall Cobb, one of 3 fourth down conversions on that game-winning drive. Those are the games that I remember most vividly because something was on the line. And then, of course, the NFC Championship game when Rodgers plays poorly and his best play is tackling Urlacher to prevent a touchdown return on the interception he threw at the goal line. And so, again, I understand. I'm not telling fans how to fan. I'm just saying that for me, I like how compelling those games were. And if Caleb Williams turns out to be really good, which he is not at this point, but if he does and you have a Manning versus Brady constantly battling for the AFC the way those two did with the Packers and the Bears, that's way better than the Colts and the Patriots going back and forth. Packers, Bears, are you kidding me? So that's what I would like. But again, I get it why people think I'm weird for feeling that way.
What's new with the ball club?
You left out Packers and Bears, Bart Starr's final game, when they had one of the greatest offenses ever, and he refused to call timeout so that his offense would have a chance to win the game, and instead the Bears field goal kicker won the game. I can't remember what his name was, and then Bart Starr got fired the next day appropriately. No, it was before him. But anyway, and he said he didn't want to
covering the team then.
What?
That was Notre Dame's Bob Thomas.
Well, I just said that's the ones that they lose, you tend to forget this great rivalry. And by the way,
I don't know.
He said because he had said such faith in his defensive coordinator, he wanted to believe in him and not call timeouts. And
who's that? That wasn't Bob Schnelker.
Time.
Wasn't Schnelker
the
offensive?
Sorry to interrupt. I took too much time.
Yeah, you were there. It's okay. Listen, I remember all the ones that happened, whether it was Alan Page in the Marco
do you
Miracle,
remember when George
Charles
Cumbie
Martin
got hit by the refrigerator? I thought he was dead. I thought he had been killed by refrigerator Perry, and then I was there in the locker room to talk to Fridge. They didn't let him speak for long, but I thought he hit him into another county. All right, sorry, Don Hudson.
There were a lot of good things. So, Jason, what's news with the ball club since we've had a little extra time going on? I see we've already got a time for the next Bear game, so we're going prime time with that one. So they must think this weekend's is going to be pretty good that they moved the next one to 7:00 for Week 16. But what's news to report? Because they've had a couple of days where they're out of the spotlight because they had the extra kind of the mini bye, as the kids like to call it.
Yeah, I mean, look, first of all, obviously the loss of Devontae Wyatt, as I kind of wrote about today, like there's no good time to lose one of your best defensive tackles. But I can tell you there are even worse times, and that would be when you're facing a Bears offense that ran for 281 yards, and most of it was through the middle against the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's not ideal. It looks like Jaden Reed will be back, guy who grew up in Chicago, so I know he's going to be excited to face the Bears twice in 3 weeks. I think their offense, in my opinion, is starting to come together. It took a while to recalibrate after losing Kraft, but I think they're starting to get kind of an idea of, how to win, both if you're playing a subpar team with a subpar quarterback, like they took the air out of the ball against the Vikings, and if you're playing a team that is going to go for it on fourth down and you have to be aggressive and you have to win through the air, which is what they did on Thanksgiving. So, it's just and Homer's heard me say this many times. The one thing that I do think I try to do for fans is if the scale is getting out of whack one way or the other, I try to put my thumb on it to kind of even it out. So if you're incredibly negative because they've lost back-to-back games, I'm going to say, look, it's a long season. They are certainly trying to figure things out without Kraft, but I still think that they've got a really smart coach and a good young quarterback who is still ascending. They're going to be fine. Now, I find myself after 3 straight wins, and if they beat the Bears on Sunday, I will probably say, look, you have every right to be feeling good about this team. There's a lot to feel good about, but I think they've shown that they can't keep consistency going for very long. And I think the Denver game is going to be an interesting matchup on the road. There's people saying, I think they could run the table like they're Rasheed Walker with his undefeated proclamation. And I don't see him being that clear-cut good anyway either. Like, look at the Rams, right? They go across the country. They get beat by the Panthers, who we thought was a terrible loss for the Packers. But now I think are they 7-6 now? They're in the hunt to win that division somehow. So there's a lot of football left to be played. There's a lot of reason to feel optimistic as a fan, and there's also still some reasons to be a little nervous.
I feel like the Packers are getting Reed back a week after they got Dontavian Wicks back. Have you been walking around with your chest pushed out for his play last week?
Yeah, I've been, I've been laying hands on people. I've got the gift. So two of my guys, I've really gotten them going. I mean, look, I think Wicks has been, when he's been on the field, very consistent this year. He just, he had that calf injury, so he wasn't out there much. He missed a few games. But, I think people forget during the second half of last season, everybody remembers the 8 drops he had in the first half of the season. No one really thinks about the fact that he only had 1 drop after the midway point of the season. And so I always thought he was better than people think. He certainly played like that on Thursday. But, yeah, him and Reed are like brothers from other mothers. So to have those two guys potentially both on the field, and obviously Watson playing at a high level, and Dobbs still contributing, and, they don't have Golden. I don't know if Golden will be back this week, but he's getting closer. They could have their full complement of horses in the passing game, and that, to me, like I like to say from Moneyball, could allow them to recreate Tucker Kraft in the aggregate, even though none of them play tight end, just like Hatterberg didn't really play first base.
Yeah, but he was a picking machine. So I was worried when Quay Walker went out because he was playing so well. I thought, Quay Walker, boy, he's coming around. I really like him. He might be the guy where's the extension? And now in his absence, I'm like, I don't see that I've missed Quay Walker between McDuffie and Cooper and Hopper.
Rule 1, the Packer linebacker will lead in tackles and have incredible numbers. Even if there's nothing special about his play, I will mention no one other than A.J. Hawk.
I am wondering if this is where I went into this worried about him and not having him, and now I'm not. Is there something here that I should worry about if I'm him and his future with the ball club after these couple of weeks to show that they can capably cover without him?
I would push back a little bit. You and I frequently agree on things.
It's horrible.
But I would say this. I didn't think they defended the run very well to start the game against Minnesota without Quay Walker. And what I think happened was they obviously give up that touchdown after Zane Anderson recovers the fumble, and then they stop running the ball, right? And so that could have been a problem with Mason and Aaron Jones. So I look at that and think, I think they might have missed Quay Walker there. Now, they did do a really good job on Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, although I'm not sure that, that might have been more Dan Campbell that shut them down than the Packers did. So, look, that is still the area of this defense that I think if you are going to have doubts about them, that's the spot, the run defense. Their numbers are good. It's, again, to go back to Moneyball, well, if he's such a good hitter, then why doesn't he hit good? Statistically, their run defense is in the top 10. But they've had these games where, you're like,
Jason, I think it used to be top 5.
Yeah, but they've had these games where you're like, right, where you're like, this doesn't look like a top 10 run defense, right? I mean, I think back to the Giants game where they were productive with a bunch of, I don't want to call them nobodies, but guys that are not marquee running backs, right? Obviously, Rico Dowdle left no doubtle about how good he was in that game. So, I'm not saying that they have to be perfect every week, but if we're being honest about, kind of how they have been stopping the run, that's going to be the challenge this game. Look, Ben Johnson is a really smart coach. a little arrogant, a little awkward, but really smart. And he knows that his quarterback is not that good. He may eventually be that good, but, they're basically – he had a comment earlier in the week where he said, we're not winning because of our passing game. We're winning in spite of it. And he spread the blame around to guys not running routes at the right depth and all this other stuff. But when your quarterback in 2025 is completing 58.7% of his passes in this economy, he's got to be way more accurate than that. And he just hasn't been. So, I think he knows that he's got to go out there, run the ball effectively, limit what he asks Caleb Williams to do, and that's a winning formula for them offensively. And then on the flip side, Jordan Love's thrown 3 picks all year. The Bears have picked off 17 passes. If they can get picks off of Jordan Love, that gives them a chance to win the game on Sunday.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde and 7-2.5 John Anderson. Man, they're going to be. Would you like it to be a close game on Sunday, or like me, would you hope it to be 30-0 Packers?
No, not once you get there. No, you want to step on their heads.
Because I'm learning. I'm still learning this whole thing. All right, 90% customer satisfaction. Window Nation, that's great. And it's cold, but that doesn't mean you can't get your windows done, because Window Nation is right now. Whatever you want to, we can do it right now, even in this weather. And their end-of-the-year sale, get 50% off, plus you can get 0% interest for 5 years. Could be installed in 1 day, backed with a lifetime warranty, and 50% off, and you can get 0% interest for 5 years. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. Visit windownation.com. windownation.com right now to get started. More John Anderson. I got some stats for him, too. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we got a crash on eastbound 94 right about at 84th Street. It is off on the right shoulder. So watch out for delays coming out of the zoo interchange past that point. But it does stay heavy all the way to Hawley Road. Back that up a step, we do have delays through Waukesha County, basically from Highway 164 past Highway F, and then back on the brakes from Barker Road to Brookfield Road. And then on westbound 94, backing up from 17th Street to Hawley Road. Again, west of Moreland Road, going to be slow all the way to Brookfield Road. Southbound 41, a heavy ride from Good Hope Road down past Appleton. You're back on the brakes just south of Silver Spring, all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound is slow from Mayfair Road all the way up past Hampton. Traffic is brought to you by Racine Danish Kringles. They have the perfect gift idea for you. A holiday design gift box filled with all your favorite Kringle flavors. Go to Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH to order. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Chance of flurries, mostly cloudy, a low of 18. Tomorrow's chance for snow showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 31. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You got to go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the ring. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Strong mind, strong body, and strong communities. That is what you need to know about the Princeton Club, and that is what you can achieve at the Princeton Club of New Berlin. When you walk in there, you will feel completely motivated to better yourself just like everyone else is doing. I've done personal training. They have saunas. They have workout classes. They have basketball courts. They have indoor-outdoor swimming pools. It all starts with a tour. Check it out. You're going to fall in love. Free childcare with the membership, open 24/7. Check out the Princeton Club of New Berlin. Get your tour and take that small step to a bigger journey for a better tomorrow. That's at theprincetonclub.net.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Seven, 2.5, John Anderson. Tune in to the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Locked in, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Talk gives you inside information on the team's pursuit of a championships. I'm not sure which one. Find Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher. We now have the Discount Liquor Twitter poll question, and I have not given it to Pebble, but I am presenting it now so that John Anderson can vote. Are you ready to go?
I'm here.
Packers record in their 5 games remaining. That's why it's hard for me to get too excited on this one game, because it's going to determine how it fits in. You win the game but lose 3 of the next 4. Who cares, other than the 2 of you, of course, the rivalry. But it's how good are they will be determined by, I think, the number of wins they have in the 5. And they could lose the 2 games to the Bears. If they win the other 3, it would hurt because they probably win the division, but depends on how good you think they are. And now, 7-2.5, John Anderson, how many games will the Packers win in their last 5?
Who's their last one? They got the Vikings, the Bears twice, and Baltimore, right? Baltimore and then Denver.
That is correct.
Yeah, so they'll win 3 of those for sure.
That's what I'm thinking. Now, can you go 4, though? 3 for sure isn't the answer. That's not your choice.
Yep,
or it could be 5, 4, 3 for sure, or 3. You going to go 4? I can't do it. I got him at 3, but you could go 4 maybe.
Yeah, I like 3 for sure. I'm trying to think which one would be the swing game. Because I don't hate them going out to Denver. And Baltimore right now I feel like's a wreck. They're clearly better than the Vikings, especially if they're going to play the New Hampshire kid. But they've had some trouble there. I think any of those, and the Bears, I think they should beat the Bears twice. I don't know. I can see 4.
Then
I think 3's a lot.
If Baltimore's a mess, if you can guarantee me they're going to be a mess, then I would take 4-1.
Yeah, I think they're kind of a mess, but they're a 6-6 mess and have won a few, but they haven't played anywhere near.
They're a scary mess if their quarterback returns. All right, we'll go 3, 2, 4, and 1. We've covered that. Now I have another stat for you that maybe, and people are like, well, how did the Packers beat the Lions twice this year? And it's because the Lions didn't have Ben Johnson. You got Dan Campbell is 1-3 against the Packers with no Ben Johnson, and he's 5-1 with him. How much do you, you're the one who often tells me statistics or whatever, made up basically, or don't mean anything. I don't know. You have a funnier way to say it, but boy, 5-1 versus 1-3.
I think
bring that up because Ben Johnson is now coaching the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. I think he makes a huge difference. I think it's that theory is backed up by the fact that Campbell has took the play calling away from the dude already, right? He's switched. So I think it's a huge difference. Now, does he kind of to Jason's point? I don't know that he's shown his full complement of plays in coaching the Bears because I don't think he has the same kind of talent to do it that he had.
Doesn't believe in his quarterback
in Detroit. Yeah, so right. I think he's totally. I think it's amazing that he kind of really was that blatantly out on these guys. Like we went inside of the passing game because usually coaches are much kinder than that with their own
and
people.
He's got an out. He can say, yeah, we're not passing because the running has been so successful. He had an easy out, and he wouldn't go there. He's not going to lie to say anything good about his quarterback that is inconsistent with all the comments he's made about his quarterbacks, however long he's been in the league, right?
Yeah, and
because he's buried him.
Some coaches choose to motivate that way.
Yeah.
Some don't. I don't know what it is. But I think he's a talented guy. I'd be curious to see what he is with kind of when he gets what he wants in place there. Because I think he's working with the materials he has and not necessarily the materials he would like to have. Those are two different things. But yeah, he's a difference maker, and he's one of those guys that I do think, and kind of this is what every once in a while bounces me about LaFleur. LaFleur seems to be that way too. He seems to really be able to call a plan based on what he has. And it's when he doesn't have everything, when he has everything is when it seems to get mixed up and he can't decide on one thing. Right? When he had
by the way, Pebble, just save that. That's the highlight of the show, right there.
What is that? He's better when he's cornered. Yeah, if he has to throw or has to run, he's great that way. When he has the whole playbook, sometimes I think it's too overwhelming. He doesn't know what to do.
We're going to take a break, and then I'm going to ask you, what does he have this week? Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field?
Secondary. Keyshawn Nix.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
It's the holiday season, a special time to celebrate with family, friends, and coworkers. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Let us help you with your holiday celebration. Whether you're having a small family gathering, a bigger bash with friends and relatives, or a company party, we've got everything you need at the lowest prices in town. Discount Liquor is your one-stop gift shop with over 100 varieties of liquor, beer, and wine gift sets for everyone on your list. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee and on Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com. And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe holiday season.
Discount liquor.
ESPN Radio Extra Point with Orlando Franklin.
I'm hitting the panic meter if I'm a part of this Rams football team, because watching this game earlier today, we saw it from the open and whistle. We saw a huge return by the Rams in the kicking game, and then we saw Matthew Stafford go down there and, nice runs, nice passes, but ultimately finding the end zone. But then Carolina went out there, and they were able to hit them in the mouth, and now lead in that football game, where now you saw this Rams football team that you thought was complete coming into today started getting in that chase mode for the rest of the day. And watching the secondary, watching these linebackers move side to side, I think that they opened up a little bit of something where teams are going to be looking to expose them. Ultimately, the defense let this offense down today, and I think that more and more offensive coordinators are going to be looking at this Rams defense saying that we could expose them, and that's how we're going to be able to beat this Rams football team.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The John Anderson Homer Hour, 7-2.5, and I don't normally talk Marquette. Marquette is playing Valpo tonight, and I do have to mention that for a couple of reasons. We'll go Don Hudson. What famous Packer player went to Valpo? From the Vince Lombardi
I didn't even think about that today, by the way, when I put this on. Look at that.
Yeah.
Marquette University, one of my Marquette Clover. I had a niece that's a proud graduate of Marquette University. Another one from UWM. Who went to Valpo? Wow.
Offensive line. I don't even know what division they play. Fuzzy Thurston is the correct answer. The other reason I mentioned that is I need your help on this. You've been wrong once, but I'll ask your opinion again. I have always claimed that Marcus Howard scoring 40 points and a half is the greatest achievement I've ever seen in a Marquette basketball game. Shaka Smart said, hey, what about Dwayne Wade's triple-double? People have triple-doubles. 40 and a half. Only Wilt Chamberlain does that. I'm thinking I might not be doing respect to Dominique James. Against the last time Marquette played Valpo, at Valpo, they won 65-62. Dominique James scored the team's final 18 points, including the three-pointer with 3 seconds left. So which is more amazing, 40 points and a half or the final 18 points and your team winning by 3 on your final 3 with seconds remaining? John Anderson, take it away.
Was it the first half or the second half that he had 40?
Second half. And it was against Buffalo, coached by the current coach at Alabama. They were nationally ranked at the team, but it was at home. And Oates said after the game, I guess we didn't guard him well. He didn't even know he had 40.
Oates is a good Wisconsin guy.
Yes, he is.
See, and I would put neither one of those in terms of the ones that I remember most, because I am not familiar with either one of those like maybe I should be.
No, you don't have to be aware of them. I'm asking you, of the two, which would you say is greater?
I think I would take the 18 straight, because somehow that seems clutch. If you only won by 3, you were tight the entire way. If it was, you were trading buckets. If it was for the memorable one is I like Butch Lee when he scored $1 billion for Puerto Rico against the U.S. and only beat them in the Olympics in 1976. And then I don't know if you were on the call when they played Missouri, Dwayne Wade and that team, and they didn't miss an overtime. Remember that? You were in the tournament and didn't miss at all. Not twos, not threes, not free throws.
Steve Novak, I believe, had 5 threes. Yes.
Had a perfect overtime. Like Missouri shot 65% and scored 18 points and got drummed in 5 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Yes. If I was Missouri, I would have felt that was unfair.
I still feel the sting of that.
Expect the team to play well, not Steve Novak is a freshman. Not up check. I think he went 5 for 5 shooting threes. All right. Do you want to pick the Packers and Bears? I'm saying they're going to split the 2 games. I don't feel like I have to pick a winner this time, but I kind of feel the Packers. I feel like they have that little juice going. I do. And against the run, I should mention, they did it against the Lions when they had to.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped.
I think that I'm with you. I feel like there's a little magic there right now that's going on. But we felt that before. If they win this, then I'm really convinced they're kind of on their way. Like this would be the one that, like, okay, the roller coaster right now is really.
You got to be on next Tuesday. Are you going to be on next Tuesday? We've never had that much sugar. All right, we're gonna. Oh, now I want the Packers to win.
Would you like some salt? Would you like some salt? Here's some salt, real quick. I'm wrong about the Bucks and Giannis. We need to trade him and give him a good home. We don't deserve him anymore. And I'm just praying that somebody catches Doc Rivers in a poker game because I'm done.
That's some salt. But it won't be as good as the sugar if the Packers win. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. So accurate, but not accurate because it should be and is now. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service, and been doing it the best for over 50 years. That's how they can be that good. That's how the complicated cannot be complicated for them. They've been doing it that well for that long. Saganiac Planning, named synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service for over 50 years. A phone number you can remember, just 783-262-783-6161. Roger Maris. And oh, baby, the Packers got to win. The greatest sugar performance ever by 7-2.5 John Anderson next Tuesday if they win. Guaranteed. Oh, baby.
We have an accident on 94